Oh, for sake. Was going through and paying the bills early this morning, and it all came down to this prescription service thing. WellCare, it's called. And I don't get any bills. And I didn't know how much it was. And I kind of thought it might have been around the 20th of the month. And while I was paying bills, I wanted to see if I could pay it, get it done for the month. This is crazy, man. I dug out a thing. It had a phone number on it. It said customer service and then the 888 number. So I called. I finally got hold of somebody. And they're in the Philippines. Outsourced. And it was $29.70 a month. But apparently I missed a month, so it was $59 something or whatever. And it's like I can't afford to pay these huge lumps of money, and I had just enough. I have maybe $100 left to my name, period, which is better than last month, but still. And I told her I didn't get a bill, I didn't know, no one told me, it's nothing. I don't know if I even need it. If I don't have a doctor to prescribe medicine, then but the doctor I'm supposed to talk to in a half an hour, or less than a half an hour, he does prescribe my Xanax and my Zoloft. So I guess I need this drug service, otherwise it costs an arm and a leg. Healthcare system in the United States. Anyway, I'll be waiting for the doctor to call. I'll have to bone up on what all has happened so that he can understand how I'm doing. Dare I tell him about the dream I had the other day? It was so real. So real. And the guy was hairy. Enough said. Yeah. With the luck I've had last week and all, with the possible talking to the doctor and possibly not talking to the doctor. 3 o'clock came around, 3:15 came around, 3:30 came around, and I thought, well, maybe I'll lay down. I'm kind of tired. I'll watch a few videos. And then he called. He didn't call through the clinic, he called from his home. And he said that the girl went home early today. Now, I don't know if that was a lie or the truth or what. I really don't know whether he did this on his own. But I like talking to him. I was really glad he called, and I tried not to waste his time. Told him what was going on with me, and I always try to have the calendar nearby because anything important I write down, so I'm fairly concise, Well, I had sinusitis, and now I don't have sinusitis, and then I hurt my back, and then I put a sidewalk in, and, just blah, 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 blah. And we were talking, and I said, I probably shouldn't say this, but if I don't say it to somebody, I'm going to explode. And he goes, what? I said, it's about a dream I had. And he says, well, who better than to tell me? So I told him. It was very realistic. Much so that I asked him, now does this count as having sex, or is it still 11 years since? And he goes, I would count that as having sex. In a dream? I thought, okay. I think his mind kind of went there. And I said, if you really want weird dreams, eat dill pickle before bed. Because he was telling me about how he has trouble sleeping, and he took melatonin, and then he hasn't for a long time, but then like last week or so he was having trouble sleeping, so he took 2 melatonin, 2 or 3, and then he said, what did he say? He said he had the most vivid dreams, bright colors and smells and sounds and everything. I said, that's the way my dreams always are. Apparently not everyone dreams in color and full, feeling things and smelling things and touching things. Apparently not everyone does that. And he says he thinks it might be because I have a creative mind that I can, that things are more vivid for me. I don't know. But I said, you'll have the weirdest dreams. He goes, pickles. I said, do you like dill pickles? He goes, yeah, I like dill pickles. And he says, will it work with slices or do you need the whole pickle? I said, well, I just eat the whole pickle. And he goes, sounds phallic to me. I just buy whole pickles because sometimes you feel like pulling a pickle out and eating a pickle. And you can always slice it, but if you buy slices, you can't grab a pickle and chaw on it, Oh my goodness. And then I came out and I said, I shouldn't say this, but if I don't say that, he said, well, who better than to tell me? And I said, yeah, you're right. I says, I have no filter between my brain and my mouth right now, and I'll just say it. That if you weren't married, I would ask you out. And I think he was kind of taken aback. And then he didn't know what to say. And I said, all right, how about this? Do you like chocolate milkshakes? I'd take you out for a chocolate milkshake. And he goes, I love chocolate milkshakes. So read into that what you will. But I really like the guy a lot. But I picture him as a little kid. And me as a kid. When I would climb trees, pine trees, and get sap all over my fingers and stuff. And he's like a little kid with a striped shirt that plays boy stuff. Trucks and in the dirt and running, and I don't know, that's just how I picture his spirit. He has a young spirit. And he used one word that it was just on the verge of having to look up, but I figured out what the word was. And I said, oh, it's so nice to talk to someone that has big words. And he said likewise to me, apparently because I can understand him. And I said, you almost had me going to the dictionary this time, but you didn't. So, and he chuckled. This is going to only be part of the vlog. I didn't do much else. I went and bought some wood to make a tongue drum. I do need to finish up the stuff at the desk. I did start and I pitched some stuff, and I still have a lot more to do. So the next time you will see anything will be, well, this is Monday, will be Tuesday's vlog, and Wednesday will be a joke. So there. That's the top to like a TV tray, TV table thing that you fold up. That's the bottom. I originally had painted it with this stain, but it looked real drippy and nasty. Hello, Tuesday afternoon. Gonna try to end it here. It's fairly warm out here, but the nights have been getting very cool indeed, where I have to curl up under blankets. I have the windows open at night, get through some fresh air through the house. Supposed to get hot again for a few days, but I think we're on the down slope of the temperature. Yeah, like, what is it, like 25 Celsius, 78, 79 Fahrenheit. So I need to get back to the paperwork at the desk. I'm halfway finished. What is it with me that I have trouble finishing things? I don't know. I think the one bedroom that has books and my sewing stuff, that should be fairly easy to know what I'm keeping and what I'm not keeping. It's just physically doing it. It is a bit stressful. It is. Especially when you see all your life, things in that you've gone through or bought or worked hard for or whatever, disappear. Like at my mom's, all that stuff in the dumpster. And all the pictures that she's putting in boxes for me to have. The majority of them bring up a lot of unpleasant life. So it's not easy. On Facebook, I'm in 3 or 4 groups. And in one of the groups, I was scrolling down and I saw a name that sounded familiar. It looked very familiar. It was someone that my ex knew from a film class at school. And he invited us to one of his parties. And they were playing music and all. This was back in the late 70s. This guy had wire-rimmed glasses and a Fu Manchu mustache. That's the way most guys wanted to look, okay? And he was playing music and the record got over and he says, "Any requests?" And I thought I'd be sarcastic, little snarky. And I said, "How about Melancholy Baby?" And he had the biggest grin on his face, like, I have been waiting all my life for this moment. You know, I'll embarrass you by having it. And he put Melancholy Baby on, sung by Al Jolson. And I shriveled in. I was just kidding. He goes, "No, you asked for it. We're playing it." And everyone looked at me like, "Arr." It was the same guy. So we messaged each other back. It was like 2 in the morning. We were texting back and forth a little bit. He still lives in his same old neighborhood. And only like a street away. And I gave him my number. And I told him, I used to be married to so-and-so. He told me about his kids and their accomplishments. And I told him about my kids and their accomplishments. And he said, I told him why I got divorced and why this and why that. And he says, he has nothing to do with my ex ever. He says, never again, ever. And because his daughters were like 8 and 10 or something, and they were sleeping. And my ex went over and said, "Hey, I got some acid. Let's go drop it down the street in the park." And he said, "But my daughters are sleeping." And my ex said, "Yeah, they're sleeping." He said, that was it. I totally understand. So he says, I can only manage to be out of the house for like 2 hours. But that's fine. I mean, I'll stand at the curb and talk to him sometime if that's what it is before I leave, just to catch up. I didn't know him that well, but he's a nice guy. He's married. He's got, I guess between them they have quite a few kids and grandkids and stuff. So. He looks old. He's older than I am. He looks old, but we all do. You don't feel it inside until you look in the mirror. That's anyone watching this. Even if you're like 15 going, old person. If you're lucky, you'll get there. And you'll look in the mirror and go, who is that? And you'll be looking and looking. But you see yourself in the mirror most every day. Now, if you didn't look in a mirror or anything reflective for 3, 4, 5 months, maybe a year, and then you looked at yourself again, you say, who is that? Because when you're looking out of yourself, you don't feel old, unless you get aches and pains, but I mean, generally, you don't feel old, but you're an old codger. or as they used to call us old people, Gomers. Get out of my emergency room. That's what it stands for. Well, tomorrow's a Whoop Whoop Wednesday. I will have a joke for you. Sorry the video turned out so long. I really need to get back to what I should be doing. Upward and onward.